welcome back to the tech booth. We're going to be looking at the sound console today in this week's Tour Tech, or Techie Tours, whichever. Either way, we are going to be looking today at our sound console and the sound system in the theater. At the front of house position, we have a Soundcraft SI Impact 2. We have 32 hard channel preamp inputs into the console, and we have 14 mix bus outs, not including the main and mono output on the console. This console also has the ability to get a stage box to it, and if that's the case, we can then have 64 head amps and then 14 outputs, and then the other two left and right mono mix buses for in-house. As far as our in-house sound system goes, we're very fortunate. We have 6 zones. The 6th one being our newest addition, that is a induction driver hearing loop system. So if you have the T-coil system in your hearing aid, it will actually talk to it through a magnetic field that is incurred in the theater's orchestra section. Then if you look at it theater, it's one of my favorite views. You can see that we have the large JBL left and right fills for the orchestra section. Across the apron of the stage, we have near field monitors. You can't see it, but at the top of the proscenium is a cluster. And then across in the pit, we have subwoofers, and then just above our heads, we have balcony fill speakers, and those are in the balcony and down here underneath the balcony. And those 5 zones make up the theater's system. They are all aux-fed zones, and they run off of different zones on the console, which you can see here. So I can pull up and see what's mixed into the hearing loop. What I don't have in, subs are the same way. Those are essentially aux-fed subs, and then the feeds to the different zones. So our console is, I really love this. It has lots of different useful features. This is a fully digital console, so it has Soundcraft's DCS operating system area. So you have all of your controls here for each channel that are selected per channel by the select button, as opposed to an analog console with the channel strip. Really nice feature when you're trying to work on something quickly. So if you want to see what has compression turned on, you hit the quick key, and you can see I don't have any compression. If I want to see if anything has a high pass filter, you can hold it. For quick example, I can push the high pass filter, select these, and now if I want to see what I just turned the high pass filter on, it'll all come up that is currently selected. Same thing for phantom power and phase inversion, gates and EQ and routing of that nature. We have 4 matrix and 4 effects buses that are completely routable. You can either route them with every single channel in an input, or you can route them with left and right or an auxiliary. So they're really versatile as far as what you can do in the theater. And that's important because for us at a theater, and specifically me as a sound technician, my setup for one show to the next show is completely different depending on the design. So if I have let's say 25 actors with microphones on, and then I have 5 channels of backup microphones, and then 2 backups on stage left and right. That gives me my 32 channels, and then I can sub-mix with the additional stage box further into the second set of channels, and then mix the pit down to a set of VCAs. So I can, and I do that with vocals as well. So it, depending on how you choose is a better way to say it, to set up your show and mix your show. That's a musical for that setup, but if I'm going to do a musical act, it's also a very completely different setup. Not often do you get any more than 32 channels for a musical group, although there are some that do. So I may, like at this point in time, I have a musical file pulled up. So I have my effects on the hard right of the console that have reverb, small reverb, and delay over here, and I can manually operate that. If I want to punch in a quick delay for a big moment in a ballad, I can hit that up. Or if I want to adjust my dwell for my reverb in-house, I can do that from here, but my overall level of the effects return is right here, so I can kind of drive those by hand. We have lots of different methods of music playback that we use. Those go into digital channels through a USB cable. We have a MADI system in this SI Impact, so QLab works really well in conjunction of talking back and forth. We can also bounce 32 by 32 simultaneous tracks out of the console, but it just depends on the design of your show. We do lots of different things here, so one show from one setup to another is very different. So that makes the digital nature of this console really nice. It also has the ability to save cues. So if you're working with a very large show where you have 10 channels on, 15 off, or 10 on, then you're going to 15 microphones on, and then 7 of those 10 previous ones are then shutting off. You don't have to try to do that all manually in maybe a 10-second changeover, which is, it's a very nice, but that's completely recallable. So you can do that and have a different mix for everything. Musical numbers, same thing, different effects. So it's a really versatile console. We're really thankful to have it here. 4 different channels, 4 different pages for 24 faders that are completely mappable however you should choose. And you can see some of them scrolling through, and then you also have graphic EQ faders that pop up. So you can set them all, turn them off, and they come back. They're motorized faders, and it's all iPad operable as well, so if you want to do something from somewhere in the house, you can. We use lots of different microphones. We use standard dynamic microphones. We use headset microphones for head warns. We use a standard lavalier microphone, and then we also have boundary microphones that we use over here. I'm not reaching off into the distance. We have Crown PCC boundary microphones that we use. Those are all tools of design that we use depending on the show that's being produced. So it's a really fun part of the tech world to be able to work in, because it can be as intricate as you want to make it, and it can be as simple as you want to make it as far as sound design goes. The intricacies come in when you're EQing and designing who gets a mic, who doesn't get a mic, how long is it on, how many times are they going to be in and out in that scene, do I have ensemble things that I need to mic with people that are not. So it's a really diverse, deep field when you start to think about all the possibilities. But we have lots of equipment here that's really nice, that helps us maneuver around. So thank you for the sound booth and joining us on our tour. Like our YouTube page and subscribe for more exclusive content from the Mishler Theater. Thanks. Have a great day, guys.